A tragedy remembered, the Titanic's legacy. The RMS Titanic, a marvel of early 20th century engineering, was the largest and most luxurious ship of its time. It was a symbol of human ingenuity and ambition, a name synonymous with tragedy. The Titanic was touted as unsinkable, a claim that would be tragically disproven. On April 15, 1912, this unsinkable ship sank beneath the waves. It struck an iceberg during its maiden voyage from Southampton to New York City. Over 1,500 souls perished in the icy waters of the North Atlantic. The lifeboats were insufficient, and many were left to face the freezing ocean. The disaster shocked the world. Headlines screamed of the unimaginable loss, and the public was gripped by the scale of the tragedy. It led to safety reforms and forever changed maritime history. New regulations were introduced, including lifeboat requirements and improved ship design standards. But even now, over a century later, questions linger. Some whisper of conspiracies. The Titanic's story has become a fertile ground for speculation and myth. Could the Titanic's sinking have been more than a tragic accident? Theories abound, each more intriguing than the last. One persistent theory alleges insurance fraud. This theory suggests a deliberate act of deception. This theory claims the Titanic was switched with its sister ship, the RMS Olympic. The Olympic had suffered damage in a previous collision. The Olympic had been damaged in a previous accident. The conspiracy theorists argue that the switch was made to claim insurance money. The conspiracy suggests the Titanic was deliberately sunk for insurance money. This theory, while captivating, is not supported by solid evidence. This theory, while intriguing, lacks credible evidence. Experts have scrutinized the claims and found them wanting. It has been debunked by historians and maritime experts. The evidence points to a tragic accident rather than a grand conspiracy. Let's delve into the facts and separate truth from fiction. The Titanic's legacy is a complex tapestry of human error, heroism, and enduring mystery. The heart of the conspiracy lies in the alleged switch. Proponents claim the damaged Olympic was disguised as the Titanic. The Titanic was then intentionally sunk. This elaborate scheme, they say, was orchestrated for financial gain. The conspirators, according to the theory, hoped to collect insurance money. The Titanic's sinking, they argue, was no accident. It was a carefully planned act of sabotage. The theory often points to the similarities between the Titanic and the Olympic. As sister ships, they were nearly identical in appearance. This resemblance, conspiracy theorists argue, made the switch possible. However, the theory ignores crucial differences between the two ships. It also overlooks the logistical nightmare of such a switch. We'll explore these discrepancies in the next section. Despite its popularity in some circles, the switch theory crumbles under scrutiny. The idea that the Titanic and its sister ship, the Olympic, were swapped before the infamous voyage has intrigued many. However, when we delve deeper into the evidence, the theory falls apart. Overwhelming evidence contradicts its claims. Let's examine some key points. First, the identification numbers. Each ship had a unique construction number. The Titanic's number, 401, was etched on recovered artifacts. The Olympic's number was 400. This alone disproves the switch. Additionally, these numbers were not just superficial markings. They were integral to the ship's construction and documentation. Second, the ships had structural differences. The Titanic had an enclosed promenade deck, while the Olympic's was open. These differences are evident in photographs and at the wreck site. The enclosed promenade deck was a significant design feature, making it easily distinguishable from the Olympic. Third, the logistics of the switch were impossible. Switching two massive ships would have required thousands of shipyard workers and months of work. Maintaining secrecy on such a scale would have been impossible. The evidence clearly shows that the Titanic and the Olympic were distinct ships. The switch theory simply doesn't hold water. Furthermore, the financial and operational implications of such a switch would have been enormous, making it an impractical and highly risky endeavor. Maritime historians and experts overwhelmingly reject the switch theory. They point to the overwhelming evidence against it. J. Kent Layton, a leading Titanic historian, calls the theory utter nonsense. Mark Chirnside, another renowned expert, dismisses it as a fabrication. He points to the meticulous documentation of both ships by British authorities, making a covert switch impossible. These experts have spent years studying the Titanic and its history. They base their conclusions on rigorous research and analysis. Their consensus carries significant weight. The switch theory, despite its appeal to some, lacks any credible support from the experts who know the Titanic best. A financial flop, no insurance payday. Here, the conspiracy theory hinges on the idea of insurance fraud, but a closer look at the financials reveals a different story. The Titanic wasn't even fully insured. The ship was insured for $5 million, but its construction cost was $7.5 million. Sinking the Titanic would have resulted in a significant financial loss, not a gain. Furthermore, the White Star Line, the Titanic's owner, was a financially sound company. It had no motive to engage in such a risky and costly scheme. The insurance fraud angle simply doesn't hold up. The financial realities of the time contradict the conspiracy theory's claims. J.P. Morgan's absence. A conspiracy crumbles. Some versions of the conspiracy theory implicate J.P. Morgan, the renowned financier. They claim he orchestrated the sinking to eliminate business rivals who opposed the Federal Reserve. However, Morgan wasn't even on the Titanic. He canceled his trip at the last minute due to illness, a fact documented by Reuters fact checks. Moreover, there's no evidence that his alleged rivals opposed the Federal Reserve. In fact, one of them, Isidor Straus, spoke favorably of it. Morgan's absence and the lack of evidence linking his rivals to any Federal Reserve opposition further weakens the conspiracy theory. Social media's siren song misinformation spreads. Despite being thoroughly debunked, the Titanic switch theory persists. Social media platforms, with their rapid-fire sharing and lack of fact-checking, have become breeding grounds for misinformation. A simple Facebook post from November 2024 reignited the switch theory, demonstrating how easily misinformation can spread online. These platforms often prioritize engagement over accuracy. Sensationalized content, even if false, can quickly go viral. It's crucial to approach information found online, especially on social media, with a critical eye. Fact-checking and relying on reputable sources are essential. The Olympics end, a final nail in the coffin. The RMS Olympic, the alleged stand-in for the Titanic in the conspiracy theory, continued sailing for years after the disaster. It served with distinction in World War I and remained in service until 1935. The Olympics' long and documented career after 1912 delivers a final blow to the switch theory. If the Olympic had sunk in 1912 disguised as the Titanic, how could it have sailed for another 2 decades? The Olympic's fate is a testament to the fact that the Titanic sinking was a tragic accident, not a premeditated event. The two ships lived separate lives, their histories well documented and distinct. Conclusion: the Titanic's true tragedy. The Titanic's sinking was a monumental tragedy. It was a disaster that shook the world and left an indelible mark on maritime history. The ship, once hailed as the epitome of luxury and engineering prowess, met a catastrophic end on its maiden voyage. It serves as a stark reminder of the power of nature and the importance of safety at sea. The iceberg that struck the Titanic was a force of nature that no one could have anticipated, highlighting the vulnerability of even the most advanced human creations. The conspiracy theories surrounding it, while intriguing, lack any factual basis. These theories, ranging from insurance fraud to deliberate sabotage, have been thoroughly investigated and debunked by experts. The switch theory, in particular, has been debunked by overwhelming evidence and expert consensus. This theory suggested that the Titanic was swapped with its sister ship, the Olympic, but extensive research and historical documentation have proven otherwise. It's crucial to rely on credible sources and critical thinking when evaluating such claims. Misinformation can easily spread, but by turning to verified historical records and expert analysis, we can separate fact from fiction. Let us remember the Titanic for what it was, a magnificent ship that met an untimely end, taking with it the lives of over 1,500 souls. These individuals came from all walks of life, each with their own stories and dreams, all tragically cut short. Their memory deserves respect, not distortion by unfounded theories. Honoring their legacy means acknowledging the true events and the lessons learned from that night. The true tragedy lies not in conspiracy, but in the loss of life and the lessons learned from that fateful night. The Titanic story is a somber reminder of human fallibility and the enduring need for vigilance and respect for the forces of nature.